check. Spinach and Asiago? Oh, wow. Thank you, Kenjin. Hey, Wolf Tamer, thank you so much. Wow, coming in right away like that. Thank you. Good to see you. Oh God, my hair. This is weather, man. It doesn't matter what I do. It's messed up. Oh my God, thank you so much, guys. Awesome. Yep, I'm here. You can see the microphone. That's kind of ridiculous. Let's not do that, yeah? Let's just turn this up, but I don't want to... How are you? I hope you're doing well. Let's see. Check. Yeah, I think that's loud. Because I know I get loud. Barely? Are you sure? Barely? Are you sure? Because my spike says that it's pretty loud. I'm almost in the yellow. Yes. Yes, I'm okay. If that's what you were meaning, Wolf Tamer. Sorry. Okay. Yes. Yep. I'm here for another evening with you guys. Hope I'm gonna be giving a lot of readings, doing all that stuff tonight. I don't know if anybody saw the thing that I posted in the Discord, but I think maybe we can talk about it later when there are more people in here, or if anybody wants to say anything about it now, they can, and we have a start of discussions about the microcosm and the macrocosm, right? Or cosmos, whatever you want to call it, and that we are our own gods in a sense, right? So that was what I was posting. It does relate to spirituality, because spirituality to me is everything that is just kind of deeper thought, and deeper understanding of the human psyche and all of these things. So I did think that was a nice thing to put in the chat. That is a paragraph, tiny, not even really a paragraph, it's just a sentence out of the book Isis Unveiled by Helena Blavatsky. A work of hers that's not as intricate and not as complex as the Secret Doctrine, which I've been trying to post, and a lot of you have just been kind of like, what? Because it is not really easy to understand, especially when you're not really 100% involved in the topic, like I am, for instance. There are many others that are too, but I know that, most of you are just kind of a little bit on the lighter side with that, so it would be a little more difficult to understand. And if I didn't know her writing style, as I have, because I've read works of hers before, so I knew what to expect, but when I read her first book, I was like, oh my God, like, I have to really sit here and read it slow and everything to be able to absorb the message, and absorb it properly, because I'm an impatient person, so I'll just be like, oh, that's probably what she means, and then move on, and then I have it all wrong, so I really have to, like, concentrate, but I thought that was a little bit easier to understand what I put there, pretty much talking about how, our whatever we shine on other people, is the God within us, and that gets imprinted onto other people in a sense, right? And it's like saying that we are responsible for our own actions, and that there's really no higher power in that sense that is connected with it or makes it happen, but more in a... It's a little difficult to explain, because it's like in the universal aspect, you could say. But when it comes to the individual, him or herself, it's more like a power that we hold within ourselves. Like the Gnostics think, that we have the little, that we have the God power within us, and then we use it in magic or whatever, because the way it is that magic is, the word is always, magic could just be another word for magnetism, if you will, okay? Because that's essentially what you're doing. You are magnetizing yourself. You are magnetizing your being to, bring things to you that you want, or, make things happen around you that you want, and through the invisible magnetism. It's just another form of magnetism, and that's how we're capable of doing that. But the only reason why we're capable of doing that is because we've always had it in us, because our ancestors had it in us, because there's just some part of us, our soul, our conscious, that lets us be able to do these things. That when the time comes that our brains, in hundreds and hundreds of years from now, that the clairvoyance that a lot of us already have, just people don't realize it, or people don't use it, or people are not trying to unlock it, ignoring it, whatever. But people that are doing it, they're, we are pretty much the precursors for the evolution of the brain, because there will be a time where the clairvoyance and the clairaudience and all of these other, ones, where we're going to be able to do things that we never thought we could do. We're going to be able to, telekinesis, we're going to be able to move things with our mind. We're going to be able to do all these things, that's going to happen at some point as our brain keeps evolving, so, and this is one of my whole things. It's like, when it comes to what I always say, our research determines, our research in the field of spirituality. That's the whole point. We want to keep searching to find these answers that I think our ancestors pretty much knew. But over time, over thousands of years, we just forgot them. We just forgot it because we we put more distance between our heritage, nature, and all of the things that we're supposed to be, to become something more, okay, which is normal, because that's also evolution, right? When it comes to technological advances. Hi, Promethean, how are you? It's all normal. The problem is that people in power that are very greedy and really don't care about, the advancement of humankind, but they care about the money in their pocket. So now we have, burning fossil fuels. Now we have, Promethean, thank you. Wolf Tamer, subscribe too. You guys are awesome. Woohoo! Yeah. So now we have the issue that we are jumping the gun, right? Because we are doing stuff, on one hand that we're supposed to do, but the way we're doing it is wrong, and it's more destructive than anything. Wow, 5 months. That's so cool. I've actually been doing this for a year. And I thought it was only like a few months, but I've actually been streaming for a year now, and I'm like, I can't believe it. That's fucking awesome. So yeah. But yeah, so this is just really the issue. There's no problem with our technological advancement, and all of these things. There's no problem, but there's a lot of problem, the basis of all of it. What does this what's the foundation, put on? And it is fossil fuels, it's ripping out trees out of the ground, destroying rainforests, destroying the oceans, plastic, all of this shit, and that's the problem. And now we have to backpedal, and now we're starting to, renewable energy, but these are all the things that are connected, because our ancestors had the opportunity and the life more prosperous, even so, than we have it today, in a sense, because they were still spiritually involved. They were still, of course, they were looking to the gods and all of these things, but there was, it's not all about that, because when you pray to the gods, you are meditating, right? You're meditating, and anything that is something like that is always good. That's always a good thing. So yeah, so it's just we gotta just kind of find our roots again, and we gotta really really look into the writings that our ancestors wrote for us, and all of these things that they uncovered, that were just all lost, and then just destroyed too, of course, by religious persecution, destroyed and hidden, and all of these things, and stolen, and which, I mean, I just recently found out that what they're doing in like in the Iran area, formerly known as Mesopotamia, at least the area, that they're destroying all the Sumerian artifacts there, and they're literally like hooking up explosives to the statues, and to all of these buildings that they had built and everything, and they're destroying. And I actually saw video footage of it, and I couldn't believe it, because it's an Islamic State, right? So it's like, oh my fuck, they're destroying everything. I'm sure that the last, things are all connected. So archaeologists, they probably had to make themselves aware of the political situation within the country, just to see, so they probably have been rushing for the last few years, knowing, okay, this is going to be turning into an Islamic State. We need to get as much out of here, as many photographs of these things, as many information, as many everything out of here as fast as we can, because they will destroy that shit. So I can imagine that a lot of archaeologists have been really probably working hard the last few years before, to try to get as much as they could out of that area and into a safe place, to to museums and all of this stuff, so all this heritage is not getting destroyed. And it's awful. It is really awful. And it is so, and this is this extremism and this terrorism, right, that we can talk about, because like, it doesn't matter what it is now. This was what it was then, and it should still be, it should be at least in a historical. But they're so fanatic, these people, that to them it's like, these are lies by crazy people, that they can't even fathom that this is just history of their country, of their people, that they should maintain, and that they should at least cherish. That's their their ancestors, their blood that made all this, and yeah, and it's just a very sad thing. Just more things being destroyed by religion, how it's really, or by monotheistic indoctrinated religion. That's really the issue here. That's really the issue. That is like, I just don't understand how there's always so much destruction, and that people just don't see that. People still follow that. People just completely ignore all the bad history of Christianity and Muslim religion, all that stuff, because they're just, I don't know, they're so brainwashed, and it's really unfortunate, because there's so much more out there than just looking through the eyes of the world like this. It's just, that's what's keeping us back. We our intelligence grows, because that's just part of the evolutionary process, right? Our intelligence grows, but as soon as the religion is always what sets us back. And I don't understand how people have never noticed that. It sets us back all the time. Yeah, hey, Florida Metal, by the way. Yeah, it sets us back every time, and it's so frustrating, because it's like, why do people not understand that? For me, as a logical thinking person, I look at this and I see immediately, it's negative. It's not doing anything good. You're building churches, for instance, now not just the Muslims, but the Christians. They're building churches everywhere. Why don't you build houses for homeless people instead? Why don't you actually follow what Jesus said that, you're supposed to do? Build homes for homeless people to live in. The biggest church that you build for like 400 people to go in, there could be 400 fucking homeless people living in there. Let them. You're going in there to pray to a invisible man in the sky, whatever, that's your thing. We each have our thing, I get it. Or we have no thing. But you can do that at home. Why do you have to have such a huge building for just that? Just once a week. These people are literally in that building on Wednesdays and on Sundays. The Baptists here. What the hell? The rest of the time, nothing. The rest of the time, that building just sits there. They ripped out so many trees. Kenja knows. They ripped out trees. They destroyed a whole park with beautiful oak trees and everything. Ripped it all out to put that fucking ugly ass brick building there with a cross on top of it. What? And exactly, and that's exactly what it is. This is, we've talked about this before. This is the same. The story is, how do you say, like, when a child in class looks at another child's paper, what is that called? What is that called? Like, there's a word for it. When they're having a test and he looks over there and looks at his paper, what does that mean? When kids do that, what's that called? Copying, right? Okay, so yeah, okay. So I thought it was a more elaborate word. I didn't know it was so easy a word. Okay, so it's literally the whole story with that is copied from the Sumerian story. Brings us back. Because the Sumerian story about Enki and Enlil, right, is about how they created humans, and they created the humans as their slaves, pretty much, right? And finally, plagiarism, yeah, whatever. Yeah, okay, and finally what happened was that Enki decided and said, the humans should be free. The humans should be free, okay? They should not be our slaves. They should, and I want to free them, and I want to give them knowledge, right? And that's how Enki and Enlil got into it, right? The brothers, the Sumerian, the Anunnaki, right? They called them the alien fucking weird shit. But the story goes, so, and then Enlil released the flood, okay? So this is all the same shit. But in the Christian religion, it can be determined in two, right? It's first of all Lucifer, the fallen angel, right? Because Lucifer said, you know what, I want to be down there, I want to be mingling with the humans, doing all that stuff, and I think I can be like a leader too, or whatever. So God said, get the fuck out of here, send him down. Okay, Lucifer said, I can give the people the knowledge, I can give humans the knowledge and the freedom and all of these things. And then, of course, as you said, the Adam and Eve story, the Garden of Eden. Specifically, God had said, do not, I do not want you to obtain knowledge. I want you to not have knowledge. You just need to live on pure faith in me, pretty much, right? And here comes the snake. Satan or Lucifer disguised as the snake, whatever you want to call it, because then it doesn't really... It could be, but, whatever. People just put the stamp on there that it was then Lucifer or Satan disguised as the snake, because it was evil to give Adam and Eve the knowledge. But it's like, no, it's not, though. That's what people don't understand. Like, when you really look at history, the roles are reversed. The roles, or not history, but the stories of the Bible, and then the history of the Sumerians. The stories are reversed, if you really want to be honest. If you really want to be honest, the stories are reversed, because Satan is the good guy that always said, let people do what they want to do on their own free will. It's like the perfect movie is The Devil's Advocate. Like, to understand what is the devil about, right? That's exactly it. They hit the nail on the head with that movie. With the, I guess it's actually a book, but the movie, whatever. But, so it's like to let us be able to do whatever we want. God is suppressing and oppressing us and telling us we cannot do this, we cannot do this, we cannot do this, whereas Satan says, do whatever you want, as in the new satanic religion, as long as you harm none, and there's consent from, the other creature, whatever, so it's like we need to really be honest here. That the Christian God is a suppressor and an oppressor that just wants to hold you hostage until you die, and then there's nothing. With the whole thing, with the two things about if you do this, you're gonna go to heaven, and secondly, you have to do this because I died for your sins. What sins, motherfucker, are you talking about? I was not even alive. None of you were alive. My mother was not alive. My grandma, nobody was alive 2,000 years ago. My ancestor then was alive. But it has nothing to do with me. The whole thing, when you really look at it, it doesn't make, there are so many contradictions. That's why they had to keep rewriting new fucking testament. Oh, we got the New Testament, we got the Old Testament, we got this and that. They had to rewrite that shit. Oh shit. Oh, we fucked up. Oh, God, we gotta change that because people think that, oh, God, Like, how can people not see that? I don't get it. It's so in plain sight for them to see that, none of this says that there's no God, that there's no God, none of it. But the Bible and the religions themselves they're just fucking toxic and following this nonsense and this contradictory shit and this hypocritical stuff and this rapey and oppressive and suppressive and delusional crap, making another man kill his own son. I mean, or, and then, etchy batch, as we say in German, no, don't do it. I just want to see if you were going to do it, dude. You were going to totally do it. What is wrong with you? What kind of a god are you? So you were that unsure as this almighty and omnipotent God, you were that unsure of your own child down there that whether he was really gonna do everything for you or not, you had to test him. You can't be all knowing then, now can you? It's all so much shit, and these are the things I could go on forever. Yeah, but Florida Metal, the Christian is just a white filter. Yes, but at least the Sumerians never, it's like in the Sumerian history, it's just like, okay, this is how it is. It was never really said like, okay, Enki is now our god and we must follow him and Enlil is bad. It was never like this. It was really just a pure, they were both gods. They were both considered gods, and they were both, they were powerful, and one god was angry and one god did this shit and the other one, whatever. Just like how it should be in the Christian aspect, we should look, if you were a Christian, you should look as Lucifer as another god, because apparently Lucifer is just as powerful as God, because Lucifer still exists. Satan's still there. God has never destroyed him yet. He must be very powerful, more powerful than God. Okay, Promethean. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Oh no, that's not stupid. No, Florida, just an expansion on what you were saying is what Promethean was trying to do. A jealous and vengeful God, and you shall never, what do you call it? You shall never worship any other God beside me. Oh man, somebody's full of himself. That's all I can say. No, it is really shitty because, because I can only view it this way, because there was never even a history in the Christian history. In the history of Christianity, there was never a time where worshiping the Christian God was like nice in any way. It was always underlined with slaughter, with telling people they cannot believe in their gods and all of these things. It was always underlined by that. Whereas in many other religions that most of the time that are pantheistic religions, you can, there, of course, there were also history of, but never in this massive global catastrophe. And there were many times, peaceful times, when people just had many gods, and then they just, whatever, the gods were responsible for the weather, they were responsible for the crops, they were responsible for, getting pregnant, all of these things, and it was just what it was just the way of life, and it was what it was. But then when we must only have one God, as soon as it comes like this, as soon as force, you cannot, as soon as somebody tells you can't and you must, it's over. Like, it's over. And the pagan gods, they don't give you these. They give you hints, you probably should, or maybe you want to, or this is what Odin did, so who knows, maybe you should do the same. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that, but you were never condemned if you didn't follow with some fucking doctrine that you were supposed to have, Insecure! Thou shalt not place any other God before me. In Germany, we do this sign. We do two signs. This means you have a bird. Du hast ein Vogel. Like you have a woodpecker that's like ticking away at your brain because you're stupid. So whenever somebody says something stupid, like the sentence that is in the Bible, I'm like, that's stupid. Or we do the John Cena in Germany, right? We do this John Cena. We do like this. And when we do like this, we mean like you can't see straight. Like you're crazy. You're fucking dumb. He's a Karen. Yeah, he's a Karen. Loved by Karens. Karens are always loved by Karens. So, but. And it really sucks because there are really people out there too that I know that, granted, I'm going to tell you the truth. I have not met many. Like, I can count the people probably on half of my hand that I've met. But the Christians that I have met that are really good people, right? That are really genuinely good people. They want to do good for the world. And they really, they believe in God. And they believe in just doing good, And they are really the same people that you hit them, they give you the other cheek, right? I've met maybe 2 or 3 in my life that are like that. You know what I mean? On the Christian side, I've always met more people that are like atheists or whatever that are way kinder. Always. But I'm just saying that it is a shame for these people that it's so ruined. That it's all just garbage. But it is like this because I feel like in history, the history repeats itself. We know that, right? It does that in certain ways. And because we do kind of still live a little bit by the teachings. For instance, what my parents teach me, I kind of do live by that, right? So when I teach my daughter or my son, if I ever have kids, right, it's still going to be just a watered down version a little bit, probably a little bit better, but still a little bit of a watered down version of what my parents taught me, right? So we keep on going with the same kind of things that we've had for, generations over generations in our families, right? So it is understood that, these things are, unfortunately is how it is. I don't know where I was just going with that now. Yeah, your dad was? Yeah. But, it is just really a shame that this is so ruined. Oh yeah, this is what I was saying. So, but this is how it goes with religions, right? Religions always, then you have the religion, and then the religion slowly but surely starts to crumble, right? And people are just grasping, building more church, building more and doing more and more and more. The stuff becomes more confusing. Now things are being uncovered, like, child rapists in the Catholic Church, blah, blah, blah. All of these things are blown out of the water. So there's so much and so much and so much that finally they always go all the way to the top, you know, what do you call it, like the curve for religions, all the way to the top right before their fall, right before the end of the religions. And this is the thing, and we can know this, and I can know this specifically because I lived in different countries, on different continents, so I can know the difference. It's already dead in the rest of the world, guys. Like, America is one of the only countries left in the world that has such a grip on that fucking Christianity shit. It's... And I think it's also not the whole country. I really think it's very, very, like, extreme in the Bible Belt itself, like in the southern states and stuff. Because I do think that the further north and west you go in the country, you know, the rather liberal states, younger people also... there's already a big majority of people that are not religious anymore. Or not in that sense, right? That people are relying more on spiritualism, which, like, you can't go wrong with spiritualism. Like, you cannot go wrong with that, you know? Meditating, looking at old works of spiritual authors, of spiritual teachers, all of these things. You can't go wrong, right? You will hit the pantheistic, you know, thing all the time with that, because that's mostly, you know, that kind of both kind of go hand in hand a little bit, but you know, it's just kind of like, it's just patience. We really have to sit here and have to be fucking patient, and we won't see it, right? We will probably die, at least in this country. I grew up without religion. Like, in my whole, there was not anybody in my school that went to church. Going to church on a Sunday was not something, you know, where my family was a prominent family in the whole town, in the whole fucking state, pretty much, because of my dad. Because my dad was, you know, kind of famous as the local team handball player from Serbia, you know, from a junior national team coming over to Germany and playing, because team handball is like the second biggest sport in Germany, beside, like, right after soccer, pretty much. So there was never this thing like, why was your family not in church this Sunday? Nobody. That was never a topic. That was never a thing. You went to church when there was a funeral. I had my first communion. Went to church then. Went to church for my brothers and my christening. Those were 3 times in my life I went to church. Oh, well, wait a minute. I had to go to church multiple times prior my communion, to do the Beichte. What is a Beichte again? Where you sit there in the thing and you tell the pastor what you did wrong. I don't really call it Beichte. I forgot now. What was it called? What the fuck was it called? How do I... Confession. Yes, confession. See how that even sounds? I have to confess my sins. It's so ridiculous. In German, Beichte is like, yeah, I guess it's kind of the same, but it's more like admitting. It's more like admitting instead of confessing, right? It's more like admitting, not really confessing. Confessing, I kind of interpret as like spilling the beans, right? You must tell me everything. You must confess. But you must admit that you kind of fucky, right? So it's like admittance, more like. We have to give admittance. Oh, really? Promethean? That's awful. That's awful. Ugh. Horrible. Yeah, but, you know, I mean, like, in the grand scheme, of course, we got the, you know, in-betweens. There's 51 states, you know, so it's like 50. I always get confused, 51 or 50. But you know what I mean. In the grand scheme, all we can do is really wait. We just have to really wait. It's just like, damn, because, like, that's my whole life is anxiety riddled with, you know, all these things that I know I'm going to miss, Like, I'm not going to be part of, and I'm so upset about it, right? I'm upset about it. I'm not going to be part of the fucking time machine. I'm not going to be part of the fall of a religion. I'm not going to be part of fucking discovering life on another planet, you know, and I'm not talking about, like, necessarily alien, like, you know, humanoid, but I'm talking about really life, bacterial life, you know, like, because then we can know that there's probably another planet that does have aliens with the big eyes, right? No, I mean, the possibility is there. Do they look like that? I don't know. Doubtful, right? Doubtful. Yeah. Oh, that's cool, though. Oh, man, Canada. That's where I really would like to go. Love it. Never even been there, but I can only imagine it's probably beautiful there. But yeah, these are the things, and I really, and that's why I try to encourage. And that's another thing I think why I'm antsy a lot is because, you know, I'm at an age, most of the people my age that I know, they're moms, right? They have at least one kid, if not multiple kids, right? And so they have this stone, that's like their stone, right? Because they have that stone and they can teach that stone better than what the world is, right? What they were even taught in some of these things, right? And they can put, we could say, put the little seed in the ear, and then it'll grow into this perfect, you know, into the good thing. And for me, it's just kind of a shame because that is something that I really want to do. I really would like to, you know, that's why I do this with you guys, you know, the people that are interested in the stuff that we talk about, that I talk about, and all of that. We can teach each other these things, you know, we can learn each other, right, you know, into getting better and doing better for the future, and you know, for the planet all in all, and for our own, you know, for our own inside of us, you know, and then whatever child we have, or, you know, relative we have, or that's gonna live longer than us, like my brother, for instance. You know, I always like think about my brother too. You know, I try to teach him, and I don't have to teach my brother. My brother already fucking knows. I don't have to teach him shit. He's just like you guys. He already understands that religious bullshit is for the trash. You know, it's dumb. It's about science. You know, it really is about. It's about spiritualism, which is to me like the science of the mental state of the consciousness and subconscious of the human, you know, psyche. And then there is science on the outside, you know, and magic, in my opinion, applies to science. It's just, magic is just those parts, the magnetism that we cannot really put into an equation yet, officially, mathematically, physically, chemically. But these are all the things, you know, this is where the secrets lie, and this is where the advancement toward a better future lies, right? And that's what I focus on. Thinking about religion and building your even it doesn't matter what religion. Now we can really say any religion that you take and you build your life around the religion is not good. That is not good, because you let that run your life. Now there comes a scientific fact, and they say, okay, this and this is a fact. It's factual. We have this on paper, but it does not align with your religious belief right here. What do? Most people will say, no, that scientific fact, that's not a fact. I live with faith. I believe what I believe. I don't care what this says. That's right there where we are, you know, digressing because of this, you know, and that's the problem. You know, having religion be a part of your life is okay, but if you you know, deny scientific fact because of it, if you harm any creature because of it, then in any way, then it's wrong. Then it rules your life. And also, if you need it for moral understanding, also a problem. It's really a problem. And it's really fearful for me. Like, honestly, the religious fanatics, they creep me out. And the reason why I say that is because these people, they rely solely on a book for moral guidance. They would have no morality if it wasn't for the book. So if they didn't have the Bible to tell them where to go and what to do, they would be going around raping and murdering. Even so, oh, wait a minute, they do that in the Bible. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Love thy neighbor, for instance, right? They would go around and maybe just murder their neighbor, because the Bible doesn't say, if it's fucked. It's fucked. Like, I can sit here as a person without, thinking, now don't let me think about anything. I'm going to think right now there are no gods. There's nothing, right? There's just me and what I do. And I can know right now what I should and should not do. I don't need a book for it or anything. It's just, and it's always been like this. It's not something that has now slowly. No. Since I'm a conscious living creature, I know that I cannot do these things. For instance, I've never, for instance, just an example, I've never harmed an animal. I've never done anything like that to where even, my mother would have to tell me, you don't do that, that's bad. I've done stuff like that, dumb, touch the stove as a kid or whatever. I haven't even done that. But just as an example, we're kids. We do the wrong things, and then the parent says, you don't do that, it's wrong for so reason. Okay, I understand. But, the regular things like that, harming, doing as a teenager, consciously, yes. Knowingly, horrible, of course. But when I'm saying as a little kid, as a toddler, as a young little kid, I didn't even need my parents to tell me these certain things. Like, don't harm a creature. Don't harm, don't do that. And I didn't need a book. It was just totally, just there. I just knew that I'm not going to do that. And it's scary for me to think that there's people out there that weren't born like that. And there's people out there that need to look at this book in order to just be like, oh, I can't understand. I can't rape that woman. I'm not supposed to do that. What? Why is that even something that crosses your fucking mind? That's what's the problem. And these people, so ultimately, these people are already disabled in their head. They're psychopaths, but now they have a book. And now the book helps them not act upon their psychopathic tendencies, right? But then it's the same thing when they go to prison for doing this, murdering this child or whatever they do. They go to prison, and then these Christians say, oh, but if you repent and if you say, I am, God is my savior, and I I'm a believer now, God will forgive all of your sins. Is that really okay with people? That's okay with people? Suddenly the rapist and murderer is okay now because he believes in God? It's fucking ludicrous, bro. It's bizarre. You know what I'm saying? Cognitive dissonance. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's scary. It's totally... It really is. It really is, Promethean. It's like I just sit there with my jaw dropped, like sometimes so much that I'm like, these people are, they're joking. They're about to bust out laughs. I'm fucking with you. No, they never do, and I'm like, oh my god. Right. They already instilled with this fundamental thing that it's, yeah, but it's like, okay, I can understand the logic behind it. I can get that, but the screaming, then the woman in pain, crying, all of these things, would that not flip a trigger? Or not women, men alike, kids, fucking little girls, little boys. I mean, that's even like, I can't. What did I get myself into? Like, it's not something that I can't even fucking, it makes me fucking just like sick and shiver and I want to fucking, I don't know. But yeah, so let me just stay on topic before I lose my shit here. But yeah, it is really it really sucks, you know. There's nothing wrong with having a little guidance, you know, and stuff like that. But if you fundamentally don't have the compassion, you know, maybe is a big word, but at least, you know, the feeling that you know, you don't want to hurt something, you know, then you have really a problem, you know. Yeah, I guess. Even psychologists, like, sometimes, you know, because, you know, of course, you know, I'm into the macabre, right? And I watch these things, and I watch these documentaries about these sick motherfuckers, right? I watch that shit because always with what, you know, is always my things, like digging down to the truth, like what makes this guy tick, like what, because I'm always waiting for when they interview the psychologist or the psychiatrist, you know, that had them under their eye and you know, scrutinize them, all of these things, to see what do they say, right? And they always say good thing, that, but they always will end with saying, you know, we cannot understand yet what makes these type of people, you know, work in their brain. We cannot understand why they do this. Like, we cannot understand what is this. They always say that it's a total lack of empathy. They're apathetic, and that makes them a sociopath, right? But the problem is, like, they cannot understand where it comes from. They cannot understand. Even when these killers, then they speak, right? And some of them will literally say, like, I don't know, I just did it. Like, I just did it. And then how did you feel? And they did it like 25 times, right? I'm not talking about one guy got pissed at another guy and beat him up and accidentally killed him, right? I'm talking about like really sickos that killed like 25 fucking girls and threw them in the bushes and shit, you know? And they'll just be like, yeah. Most of them, like, some of them will say, yeah, it was a thrill, blah, blah, blah. But most of them are just really just like, yeah, and, you know, I just fucking cut her throat. But why, though? Oh, just, you know. They'll talk like that. And it's like, bro! What? I don't get it. It's wild. It's really wild to me. Yeah. I think it's good that we expanded on that, and I do feel bad. I really have to put that in here too, guys, and I really, you know, I really would like a lot of people always in my stream, and I would really like a lot of people to hear my message and what I stand for and all of these things. And I do feel bad because I do talk a lot of, like, these things against monotheistic religions, as in, you know, Muslim religion or Christianity, really, right? Because you know, the Jews, they don't, it's not like that with them. You know, the God is there, but it's like really pretty much the possibilities are pretty much endless on what that could be, right? They're not really, the Orthodox Jews are a little bit more strict, but the regular Jews are just like, it's like, whatever, it's just fucking God, right? He did it all. So who's that guy? Well, you know, we don't know yet. He's not coming yet. so it kind of even makes more sense in my head, right? It still already makes more sense in my head. And then, of course, we got Buddhism, where Buddha is the big belly Buddha, right? But that is always also very friendly. There was never really this, it was more about spirituality. It was more really about following, you know, you internal and looking out into the universe and, you know, trying to understand the flowing of nature around you and these forces around you and everything, you know? That means you're normal, Florida Mel, right? So I feel bad because I really do feel like sometimes I have probably people in here lurking, listening, that are Christians, and then because I talk like that, they leave, right? But of course I don't know, but I'm just thinking, and I feel bad, but then maybe you're not, you know, then maybe you're not really a real Christian, right? Maybe then you're just a fake Christian. Because I would really like a Christian person to be in here and say, and have a debate with me. Have a debate with me. Tell me, like, I don't act like that. Like, don't just leave my chat. Just come, or the room. Tell me, like, you are wrong. My community has so and so many people, and everybody gives to the poor all the time. Then I can sit here and say, okay, well, good. I'm glad to know that. Then you are, there's more to that. There would have to be more to that than just giving to the poor, right? Because we all do it in some way, right? But at least I can let off, right? But then you still have to be open to be scrutinized more by me, right? Because it's like, you cannot tell me here that, oh, I give to the poor, I go and work at the soup kitchen for free every week. But then when somebody like me walks in there looking the way I do not tell me you're not and then they will talk about how they judge the people. And it suddenly, accidentally will come out of their dumb little mouth. It's like, okay, so now you're still a shithead. But it's not like that to them. That's the thing that my mother always said, and that rings so true with me as almost anything my mother has always said. But it's like, with Christians, it's very bad, because Christians, they don't have to think about what they're doing, right? They just do whatever it is that they want to do. That can hurt somebody, that can be whatever, and then later on they can just ask for forgiveness. They just ask God for forgiveness. I think we've talked about this on stream before. They just ask God for forgiveness, and then it's all good. So they can pretty much do whatever the fuck they want as long as they ask for forgiveness. And they, in the Catholics' case, they go confession. And as long as they do that, it's fine. And that's fucked up, and that's terrifying too. Because then my mother said, we are different. She always said, I taught you that you think about the things before you do them. Don't even do the bad things, right? To hurt somebody. Don't do them, because it's not good. It's a get out of jail card, right? And it's like, no. Christians can just like, oh, I'm just gonna fucking, kill that person. Oh, and then forgive me, Lord, for doing it. But I can do it again, because all I got to do is say, forgive me, Lord, and then it's fine. And so will the whole following of you, Lord. They will all say it's fine. Say, what? I can't... It's confusing, right? Because it almost seems so easy for them then. It seems so easy. Because it is difficult, more difficult, to sit here with a conscience and say, I cannot morally do this to that person. Because, for me, I don't sit here and, okay, for me, first of all, Satanist, like, pagan, whatever you want to call it, I don't have to ask anybody for forgiveness. I don't have to look to anybody and ask anybody or anything, right? Because I tell you guys this all the time. My satanic self is very true within me, because the gods out there they barely know that we exist anymore, right? They're really busy with bigger things than my little tiny life that I have on my own, that is all me. Whatever I do, whatever I conjure, it's me, okay? So it's like, I just think about my own conscience whenever I do stuff, how I feel later. So if I'm gonna kill this person, I feel like unless it's in stuff, there's variables, different, but just to kill, I'm gonna sit here for a long time and forever until I die. And if I can't pass that, to think about that, extinguish somebody else's light, even whatever piece of shit they may have been, because it wasn't for me to do. That was not for me to do, there may be a case where it was for me to do if my brother's being mortally attacked by some person. I will kill this person, and I will stand to the end, and I will never feel bad about it. I will never have regrets. I will probably rot in prison for the rest of my life. I'll never have regrets. I will sit in prison knowing this was my fate. I was supposed to do this. I was supposed to save my brother's life, killing this person. End of story. I don't care. I don't care what happened. I don't care. But that also would be in self-defense, right? In defense, in a way. So, but like just for no reason at all, going out there and just murdering people or whatever, that's just, only Christians can do that, because they can just say, sorry, thank you, God, will you forgive me? Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, exactly, Florida Metal, that's it. No, you cannot just say sorry. You have to say that, please, Lord, forgive me, for I have sinned. And then you have to say, that I did this. In the Catholic confession, even the Baptists, they have to say, oh, okay, I killed this person. Please, God, forgive me. I believe in you. You have to say that you believe, and then God's like, okay, no problem. Move along, little one. You're good. You believe in me, so you're good. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. It's cool. It's like, oh, okay. I'm like, my life ain't like that, because there's only one person. It's me. It's me. And I'm very hard on myself all the times. Like, I'm very hard on myself with every little thing I do in my life. So I can only imagine, I don't know. It's just weird. I am very glad that I was raised very free thinking. I can dress however I want. I can think however I want. There were certain things that my parents did kind of instill in me. They wanted my education to, to be a good. They wanted me to be a well-educated human, and my mother wanted me to be, to, have my morals, of course, my standards. Respect other people. And they respect you, and create your art, keep creating your art. Those were just the things. But other than that, it's kind of like, do whatever. Of course, in between, like a lot of things that I was taught, but all things that now, they're just like essential for my living. Take care of your animals, take care of your plants, take care of your household, take care of, your job, everything, the daily living things. Your parents taught you that kind of, a lot of us. Unfortunately, a lot of us had to do it on our own too, or on their own. They didn't have good parents to kind of guide them there. I was lucky I had at least, my mother mostly, my father, then, the first few years of my life, but then later on, it was just my mom, So, and I can be grateful that I had that, because there's a lot of, children they don't have either. They have nobody to guide them, and they have to do it all on their own. Hello, I don't know a good name. That's a good name. Okay, so I give psychic readings. Among other things, we have discussions about spiritual research and esoteric discussions, be it about religions or history or all of these things. But yeah, it's so this is mainly what this is about right now. I'm just kind of talking about how in the Christian faith it is very easy to just do something really bad, and then you ask God for forgiveness later. So we're kind of like talking about that right now. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. We are a stream that we focus on, spiritual teachings and spiritual evolution in any way, whichever religion, anybody adheres to, etc., etc. But yeah, so and then it does make one think, Oh wow, I wish we were all raised with the same type of like morals and the same type of, understanding. And and I agree with that. And I think it would be nice, but then of course others will say, "Oh no, we're all different because that's what makes the world go round." And it's like, yeah, it does make the world go round like that, but not if the people are really, hurting others and stuff. I can give you a one card reading if you want, because for the other ones you would have to go into a Twitch stream and you'd have to spend crystals and bits. But I can definitely give you a one card reading, and you can tell me if there's anything in particular that you want to know about. And then we can see if the card will tell us something about it. Could happen that the card will tell us something totally different too. I'm just going to let you know that right now. But it could also be that this card hits it right on the nail, exactly with what you were asking for. Or about, I should say. These are already very well shuffled, just so you know. I'm just doing that a little bit more. Sorry, guys. Starting to get there. It's unfortunate because I slept so good that one night I slept pretty good. I slept all the way through. In between my weeks of not sleeping well again, I slept one good night. I'm like, oh, cool. And then the next night, again, shitty. And then ever since, again, shitty. So I'm waiting again for another. What? La ilaha il Allah vadahu la charika la. Something with Allah, I assume. Damn, Ilian. I cannot understand what it means. La ilaha il Allah vadahu la charika la. I don't know what that means. Something with chakra, too? I wish I could know what that means. I can't speak that language. Or read or write it, in fact. Is Arabic, I'm assuming? Maybe? I don't want to say something wrong. Maybe I'm going to copy the text. Can I copy the text? I can. Oh, no, I can't. Can't I? I can't. Ah! I want to copy the text and enter it somewhere and try to figure out what it means. Probably cursing me out, saying, Allah's the only way to the chakra, or something like that. Watch, I'm right, too. Ever since I had that stupid sunburn, man, my back has been itching. Ugh. A lot better than it was, but still. Ugh. God, nobody can do that. Nobody can come in here and say stuff in a different language, because I'm going to go crazy not knowing what it means. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think so. I mean, you never know, but I doubt it. I doubt it. But I could say the same. I hope for you that maybe one day you will see that there are more out there, more gods, or maybe one day you'll find yourself godless. That would be cool too. I hope that for you, because there's a lot to learn there. in between worlds, between one God and no God and many gods. But why do you hope that for me? Don't hope that for me. Why? You think then I'm saved? And I won't go to hell? Oh, I can't see that last one. Ah, it's not coming. Oh man, I can't see it. You know what I'm gonna do? Oh, and another one, I can't see it. Why is that doing that? Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I just gotta do something real quick, guys. Please don't get mad, but I have to because I gotta read it because it's not showing up in my chat. There is no deity worthy of worship except Allah without partners. Cause you looks? What does that mean? Cause I looks. Cause I looks. Oh, now it's showing up in my chat. Wonderful. It's a bit late now, chat. Cause you looks. I looks what? No, I do, and you know, and that's why I can know that, you know, I don't need a God to be good, and for my spirit to go where it needs to go when I die. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about missing life, but I'm not worried about where I'm gonna go because it's either nowhere or it's everywhere, you know. So I gotta fix my chat again. It's all messed up now. Sorry, guys, but I couldn't read anything. No, but I thank you for coming in, and exactly what I was wishing for happened. Somebody came in here, you know, and somebody with a different religion than my own, and I appreciate that. And you know, and if you find yourself in good hands in your religion, then more power to you. But as long as you don't harm anybody with your religion, you know, that's all. That's all it is. As long as you treat everybody kind, you know, and understanding, rather, you know. Yeah, the basic values. That's a good question. Although I always knew that it was, you know, Allah was, you know, the God. I never really knew much about the details, you know. But I've had many Muslim friends, and they were very very good and kind. At least the ones that I personally knew. But yes, I'm also interested. Because, you know, passing judgment like that, I'm always a person that I like being you know, corrected. If somebody says, "Oh no, this is not correct. This is how it really is," and then it turns out I was wrong, because that means that I corrected a mistake that I was making, a mistake that I was thinking, you know. So, oh yeah, you did say that, Promethean. Well, thank you for coming. I'm glad you were here. This was awesome. And I'll be back on tomorrow. So hopefully, I don't know if you can make it tomorrow, but I'll definitely be back tomorrow. And then we can do it all again. You too. Bye, Promethean. Thank you. Okay. See, that's it. That it's the same. Yeah, pretty much. It's in many big ways. Let's just say in the big ways, it's very similar to Christianity. So then let me ask you this, Ilian. What about the history of Sumeria and the Sumerian teachings? What is this something? What do you think of that? Is that something you're familiar with, or something that you know about, or something that you have never heard about, or you don't agree with it, or what are your thoughts on that? That's really something that I would really like to know. I don't even know if you're still even here or not. The Sumerians and their religion with Enki and Enlil in what is now known as Iran and then formerly known as Mesopotamia. Or, well, Sumeria in the inner circle. The teachings of the old gods, of the ancient gods. My belly. I don't know if you guys heard that or not. Well, I don't know if anybody's even still here yet, or still here, not yet, but just still here. Oh man, sometimes my English will never be perfect. I don't think. No, but I'm talking about what came before Allah. You know, all the artifacts and all the statues that you have of the, you know, of the Sumerian gods, Enki and Enlil and Ishtar. No, I'm talking about before that still. Way before that. And the Quran has not been falsified by man? Just the Gospel, the Torah, and another? What makes you think that the Quran has not been falsified by man? Could also be falsified by man. Because it is true that these things are falsified by man. Okay, that makes sense. But what about all the carvings, all the statues and old erected buildings of your ancestors, of the Sumerian gods and everything? What about, where did that all come from? Hey Athena, how are you? Thank you for coming in. So why are all the ruins, the Sumerian ruins, being destroyed right now in Iran? Do you know anything about that? Me? No, I'm okay. No, I'm just asking. I'm asking questions here. There's somebody in the YouTube channel. Oh, Ultra item. Yes, yes, yes. You should be able to see it in the chat box, though. Right. Right. Oh, no. It's totally okay. It's totally okay. That's totally okay. I see. That's why. Okay, I got you. Okay, let me redeem the altar item. Oh, I got a good one. Okay. Okay, so this is this one. An Egyptian goddess. It looks like a turkey on her head. I cannot really know which one it is. I'd have to look in the Book of the Dead. I would probably find it out. But I love this. And I received this because at one time I ordered, I actually still have it. I have Ankh. But it's, see, this is Ankh right here. But I ordered Ankh this big, made with antique silver from Egypt, delivered to me. And this was one of the things that was in there, and I put it on my altar. Isn't it awesome? And it's like almost like papyrus that it's like drawn on. See? It's really awesome. So I've kept it. Yeah, it's very nice. La Havla, la Quata y la Bila. I don't know what that means. La Havla. La Havla. That reminds me in Serbian when you say thank you to somebody, you say Havala vam. So that's like Havla, Havala. It's similar, but it probably means something different, but yeah, I think this is so nice. This is like my pride and joy, and it's just like a tiny piece, but you can tell that somebody actually drew that on there with stuff, and it looks so nice. They did such a good job. So, but I want to say, guys, because I'm probably going to hop off soon, I do want to say thank you, everybody, for being here. This was a really awesome stream. You know, Wolf Tamer, Promethean, Florida, Metal, Athena. I don't know a good name. Was that was their name, I think. I don't know a good name, yeah. And Ilian was very nice to have you in here. That was very nice. Thank you for coming in and talking a little bit about, you know, your religious beliefs. So that was really, really cool. And it's so weird because that's exactly what I was saying right before that I really want somebody, you know, from the monotheistic religions in here, you know, Christian, Muslim, whatever, and talk, you know, and tell me more, you know. And I really enjoy that, and I think it's good, and I think these are the conversations that can bring us closer together. If not even that, at least we can learn stuff. We can learn, you know, because even if we dislike something, we should still learn about it, I think. You know what I mean? Because we need to explore it. We need to, you know, figure it out. So, I think that's very good. Thank you. I hope I say that right, Elian. I hope I say that right. I appreciate you. I appreciate you saying that. That's really nice of you. Yeah, I'm a person. Mainly, I'm a person for justice. You know what I mean? Like anything that's wrong, you know, then we have to find justice. You know, and yeah. But this was a great stream, man. You guys were so good. This was really a good stream, and I'm very happy that everybody came in and we had these talks, and yeah, very nice, very nice. And sorry that I forgot last Friday or the Friday before to post something in the Discord, but oh, K9, hey, how are ya? No hazard? Ah, okay. I see. La Havla, la Quata y la Bila. So weird how that... Such an interesting language. Whenever I read it or I hear it, I'm just like, what is that? What is this language? Is it Arabic? Is that what it is? Yeah, and K9, you want a one card reading or you want multiple cards? If you want 3 card, it's 150 crystals. If you want a 10 card, you can either subscribe or you can spend 500 bits. If you subscribe, you also get no ads, and you get to unlock the emotes that I designed myself. So that's up to you. But if you just want a one card reading, we can just do a one card, and you can just tell me right away what you want to know. Okay, anything in particular? But I do want to know, Ilian, what language that is. Ugh, doing that tonight. Oh, let's find out, K9. Well, let's hope that we can find it out, okay? Because you know how it is. Sometimes the card will say something totally different, but yes, exactly. Exactly, Ilian. Exactly. You were my answer. Yeah, it's a little tricky. Kind of, okay? So, kind of. I believe in many gods, but I also believe that we are responsible for our own actions, and that the gods are not really paying much attention to our doings. Okay, so it is Arabic. Okay, gotcha. That's what I was thinking. Okay. Interesting. Okay, K9. Let's see if we can see why Jay stood you up, okay? Oh my god. Okay. So, the Hanged Man inverted, okay? Yep. The Hanged Man inverted. So, if I'm interpreting this correctly, it's literally because they just let time pass by. It was nothing of a vicious way. It was, they were wasting time. There was a lack of progress, and they were stalled in some way. That's why. It seems that there's really no deeper meaning to that than that. That's it. So, if you will, Ilian, you could consider my religion. Yeah, in my religion as well. There's destiny, there's fate. Definitely something. Yep. It's almost like a pantheistic Satanism, if you will, kind of along those lines. You know, K9, it could be, like, the way I could interpret it is, like, that it wasn't vicious or malicious, but it was just, like, they weren't really caring much. They weren't caring enough. That's a problem. That's not good. You know? Yeah, but, Yeah, so I think maybe for tonight I'm gonna head on out of here, guys. But I'll be back tomorrow. I already said thanks, but now I gotta add K9 to the bunch. I really want to thank you guys all for coming in. It was a really good stream. And I'll be back tomorrow. And I hope maybe Alien, you come back. Zakir Naik. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, sure. That's what I'm saying. If we can definitely talk more. Whenever I'm here streaming, you can come back and we can have more conversation. Cause I have more questions, but I know your English is not so good. And I speak two other languages, but not Arabic, unfortunately. But I have a translation program, so I could probably figure some stuff out if I always have that at hand. I always have that at hand. So it's like, let's see. So we're gonna put it was nice talking to you, okay? And then I can see. Oh, okay, this is a little tricky. Saed Bialkalam Maek. I don't know if I said that right, but Saed Bialkalam Mayak. So it's cool. Good we have these things today. Yes, and thank you so much. Thank you for coming in. This was a very good good talk. So thank you again, guys. Thank you all for being here. It's 10:30. I have to go because I have to work tomorrow, unfortunately, but I have to do it. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Again, thank you so much, Wolf Tamer and Promethean and everybody. Thank you so much. I see you tomorrow, and until then, don't forget to mourn those in spiritual turmoil. And until tomorrow, I say tschüss, zdravo, and bye.